Hello and welcome. My name's Logan and this is my group. We have taken this opportunity to show you our idea, Market Jobs.
We have decided to differ from the brief by focusing purely on the young people with disabilities. We decided this because employers often overlook them and we think they should have the same opportunities as everyone else does in the computing and IT industry. Us as a team then decided that we would create a website for these young people that locate jobs and get themselves employed easily.
What are you trying to do? Oh, there we go. All right.
Here is the prototype of the website that we have created, and we decided to go for a very slick and professional design, as there will be a couple of mainly aimed at young people that will be going on the website. It's very simple to use and very self-explanatory, as you select your area of interest that you wish to choose, whether it's in IT or computing. You show your location. So you're not going to get a job that's somewhere you're not going to be able to get to, and you can choose the distance you are willing to travel to go. So if there's a train station within a mile, maybe you can go further than someone who maybe has to walk there. And if you go onto the interview section of the page, then some people may have not been to an interview before, or maybe they just need to refresh their brains a little bit. There is some advice and some practice questions. Maybe you can practice in the mirror or something. And on the CV management page, we have a CV template for some people to use, or an option to upload a CV if you have already created one on your website.
Our marketing campaign is to advertise through internet and social media, such as Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. When our site gets bigger, we will be doing TV ads and radio advertisements.
Now on the finance side, the website will cost around about £340 per month. This includes domain registration, setup fees and pay-per-click advertising. This allows us to have a large bandwidth. However, when the site starts reaching its limit, the site can cost up to £416.66 per month to host. To design this and build the website, it will be an upfront cost of £400. The site will gain revenue from on-click ads located on the register page and on the homepage. This is an important factor to keep the site running and online.
Thanks for listening. Any questions?
Okay, thanks so much for the presentation. A couple of things from us on this one. So we only received a press release for you, so we didn't receive a report. So just probably, unless you submitted something that we never saw, but just a note when you're making a presentation, making sure that we see the report before we get that. The other thing is, in your press release, which we did receive, it states that this is an app, not a website.
We were planning on making an app as well to go with it. We were planning on making an app as well, but we were figuring to do that with maybe if we make some profit from the website, from the promotion and that. So we decided to just go with a website to start off with, and then maybe expand it to other operating systems and stuff.
Okay, so probably good to redo your press release if you're stating that you're issuing if you're starting an app on that. When you started the presentation, you said you were catering for those with disabilities. Is that the case?
Yeah.
So what are you doing to cater for those with disabilities with your website? So one of my colleagues said earlier around at Barclays, we're very thoughtful and we think quite a lot about how we make technology available for those with disabilities. What have you done on the site that would make it more accessible, or how did you test it out?
Well, we've actually, the businesses that are going to be on the website, which the businesses available is going to grow larger and larger to apply for. We're going to approach them, therefore giving the people with disabilities a bit more of a better chance, because we've done some research and found out that if a employer does decide to safely want to expand their business or something like that, or getting some more staff from it, they're more likely to employ somebody more capable, and we want this sort of chance to have people with disabilities having perhaps some more physical jobs available, and maybe some, perhaps some jobs in more IT, and just widening the range for people with disabilities instead of having them with a smaller range of jobs that they can apply for.
Okay, so really admirable, and definitely there's a need out in the market for it. So you have identified a gap in the market, which I think is quite good. But what I'd encourage you to do is partner with perhaps some organizations that, like Leonard Cheshire Disability, who work really closely with those that are disabled to help them find employment. So what I would have liked to see is probably a bit more around how you're going to change your website to suit those with disabilities, and how you will reflect that in the companies that you bring on board to list jobs.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I was going to make a similar point. I think you need to think about things the other way around, because you need to think about how you're going to encourage employers to consider those people with disabilities and market their capabilities rather than focus on their disabilities. So I think that's something that you need to think through for your pitch. Your website as well, what makes your website accessible to people with disabilities?
Well, I think that obviously the internet is a very big thing, and obviously a lot of people know what it is. Maybe some of the older people that are using the website, they might not know what it is. So maybe we can, because Barclays do that thing as well. I can't remember what it's called now, but where they can help people use the internet and that, because I think I've seen that somewhere.
Barclays
I can't
Eagles.
remember.
Yeah, digital equals.
Yeah.
So maybe if we could help some of the older people do it, but I think a lot of the younger people will know how to use websites and that.
Okay, I'm thinking more about usability. So if I have a disability, am I going to be able to use your website?
Well, it kind of depends what disability you have, really. But maybe we can, if someone's really struggling and they really want to get a job, then we can obviously have like a helpline or something maybe that can.
I don't know,
they can
that's
call.
something else for you to think about, is how you
Yeah.
make your website accessible and for use with different interactive technologies that some people with disabilities use in order to make things more accessible to them.
Okay.
So touch type and some of those
Yeah.
types of things, and the talk type, which I'm sure is the wrong name, but so you can speak in and the words appear.
So if you're,
So I would look at those sorts of things in your build.
I mean, on that point, if your disability is that you can't see, you're blind, you wouldn't actually be able to use a regular website, and also, it's probably, I don't think you meant to say this, but you said when you're older you might not know what the internet is. Being older
Right,
isn't
isn't it?
necessarily a disability, so we probably just want to be careful with
Yeah.
that. So maybe it's around suitability of jobs for individuals with different capabilities.
Okay.
And maybe your focus of your website is helping those that struggle because they have different things going on. So it may be the elderly, or those that want to start a third career, or it may be those that have some other something going on with them. But it's really thinking about what your target market is in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something we think about very heavily in our development. This is a tough brief. For me, this is one of the tougher questions to answer. So well done for going for the tough one. It's something that we think about very heavily, especially with the app development that I've been involved in. We've had to think very carefully about the balance between security and people with a disability. So when you're using the app, if you leave the screen and don't touch it for a couple of seconds, we time out because you might have put your phone down and walked away, and somebody else could pick it up. And we've had feedback through some of the charities who work with us and who campaign on behalf of people to say that actually our timeout is too quick. And those people who have a mental disability might struggle to use the app that quickly. And we've partnered up with them, and we've invited them in, and we've worked with them to improve our design.
Nice.
So I think if your target market is to help disabled people get into work, then you need to think about how you develop your services for them. But very good, well done. And,
Yeah,
and
well done on that.
another clean, sharp website, very
Yeah.
professional website.
Okay, open
Thank
to
you.
the floor. Any questions? Yep, chap at the end. I can't hear.
Say that again, sorry.
Oh, what were the roles
Oh,
on the
Ah,
team?
yours.
Okay, so what was your job? Let's
So-
go left to right, start all the way along.
I was like the design and development.
Design, develop.
Project manager.
Project manager.
Finance.
Finance.
I was helping the project manager and putting the PowerPoint.
Project manager's assistant.
I was also the designer and helped a bit with the programming.
Designer number 2. Okay, fab. Any other questions or comments? Yeah.
Your main focus is coming from arts, but because it's like a website for disabled people, what about blind people using a narrator? Are they going to still have to like click on the ads and they really know the
So do blind people know about using the advertising? How's it going to work for them?
To be honest with you, we've not thought about that.
Okay, so what's the answer you give him? What do you give him?
We'll talk to you about that later.
You made a great point. We'll come back to you later. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
As you said about all of your revenue coming through ads, if a user were to go onto your website using an ad block at the browser, you wouldn't get any revenue at all.
So have you thought about ad blockers and not getting the revenue through that part of the site?
Well, I don't think many people actually know about AdBlock. A few people do, but
Okay.
not many people do use it, to be honest with you.
Okay. Have you guys considered it though?
Yeah, we did think about it.
Okay.
So,
And you don't think it's a risk?
yeah, we know it's a risk, but
know it's a risk,
it's
but
worth taking. To be
It's a
honest.
risk worth taking. There you are. That's your answer. Okay. Yep. How long did it take you to design the website?
I'll pass you on to Etienne for that one.
Very good.
It took about a weekend to design it, and then a few more days to actually get the programming together.
Okay. So he's been working in his own time to get it together. Sounds like a great plan. Good.
If you were given the go-ahead today, how long would it take before it was officially online and ready?
I'll pass you back on to Etienne.
It'd take a couple of weeks to get all the PHP and JavaScript programming to run correctly
Yeah.
and differentiate between different screen sizes, but
Couple of weeks.
yeah.
Okay. Just a bit of a feedback, because a couple of teams have done this. Couple of weeks, about a month, You know, it feels, no disrespect if any of your family are builders, right? But it feels like it's a bit of a builder's response. Oh yeah, I'll get that job done for you in 4 weeks or a couple of months or something like that. In business, if you were to turn around and said it will be live January the 1st, there's no ifs or buts. January 1st. It's very clear. He knows when January the 1st is. He doesn't know what a couple of weeks is. A couple of weeks to you could be a month. Okay? So it's feedback to everybody. If you're presenting and you're trying to bag a sale and convince the stakeholders you know what you're doing, it will be live a week on Monday. Be live January the 1st. Yeah? And also on the money side of things as well, you've been sort of saying in the range of 4,000 to 9,000, not you guys, but one of the other teams, about 4,000 to 9,000. Or is it 4 or is it 9? You're better off saying, if you give us £10,000, we will have this live for you by January the 1st. Wow, what's not to like about that, right? 10 grand, I know how much I'm going to commit and when I'm going to see it live. You don't need to say anything else. Okay? So be very clear about what and when and why, which most of you have covered today. Right.
I would throw some stats in as well,
Yeah.
Julian. So especially with a website. So if somebody asks you how long it's going to take to develop, if you know this information, I would say, well, we're going to have 40 pages in our website. It takes one day per page, so there's 40 days worth of build, and we're then going to spend 10 days testing it, and then 5 days to put it live. And then I'm really impressed because you have thought it through to that low level, and you've understood how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Can I give one last piece of feedback? So
Of
I
course you can,
apologise
you're
if
the
anybody
judge.
else has done this because I haven't noticed it, but you had some great advice there for attending interviews, and I see you're all following your own advice and you're all wearing a black suit and a long-sleeved white shirt or a blouse. Be very careful about use of the lectern. You look quite casual there, Etienne, leaning on our lectern.
Yeah.
So you're after us for money, stand and look sharp.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's good advice for all presenters today. You know, really be proud, be confident in what you're delivering for us. We're more likely to buy from you if you come across that you believe in your product, you own your product. It's an amazing thing, and we should be lucky to work with you.
For me, it's little things. You know, I never used to know what to do with my hands, and you get a bit nervous. So it's like, where do you put your hands? So things like this are really quite helpful because you can subtly be, you know, holding on to it. It's a bit of a comfort thing, right? So as long as you're not sort of waving it around at everybody and being really distracting, you know, using it as a bit of a comfort thing, and then you've got something for your hands to do. Standing there with your hands in your pockets like this, it's not great on the body language. And again, on the mic, a few of you have been fiddling with the mic, because if you're fiddling with it, we can hear it. So then you're going to be distracting your audience as well. And Nathan at the back there is pulling his hair out because he can't get the sound properly on the video. So just little things like that. Lots of things you've got to think about when you're presenting. You make it all come together, you're going to do a cracking presentation in future.
And arms down, so no crossing your arms.
Yeah, yeah. So what does that say?
You've all done that.
What does
You've
that
all
say
done that, yeah.
when I put my arms together like that? Go on. Absolutely, you're closing. Yeah, yeah. Somebody else said shy. I don't think everyone's ever said I'm shy, but yeah, you could interpret it that. But I'm not interested. Yeah, there's a barrier. Doing that is a barrier. So yeah, get your body into the audience that you're presenting, if that makes sense. Right.
Well done.
No more questions, comments. Thank you so much. Well
Thank you
done
very
for
much.
waiting to be the last two. Okay.